start with what went wrong there at the end.
We don't clear the ball out. It's my fault. I'm the coach. I make the subs, and but I'll tell you what I told the guys. It's not the 5 back. It's not the 4 back. It's not when I've put on an extra midfielder. It's not when I've put on different wingers. It's the psychology of the guys coming in the game. And this is another game where the guys that came into the game, okay? Everyone's gonna blame my subs, that's fine, okay? It's my fault, I take that responsibility, I'm the head coach. I have to do better with the subs, but I'll tell you this, I've tried a lot of different things. A lot of different things. And today, if we simply clear the fucking ball out, it's over. So sorry for swearing. If we clear the ball out, it's over. So we can blame the refs because it's a foul, okay? But we have to clear the ball out. And the psychology of the guys coming into the game, whether we go into a 5 some games, whether we stay in a 4, whether we go a 4-3-3 and put an extra midfielder on and take attackers off, in this game, it was comfy. I didn't feel like I needed to change much other than like for like subs. Okay, and I wanted to keep Lucas and Cucho on because they're helping us get up the field, right? There have been times where we've been too deep. I didn't want to go into the 5 because I didn't think we needed the 5. Okay, and what I want to say is, if you look back in the games that we've given up goals, it's not the 5, it's not the 4, it's not the structure, it's the players coming into the game. And today, the guys that came into the game didn't do well enough. That's my fault.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Usually there's a short turnaround time with another match. Now there's 2 weeks. Is this a time where it's not about, okay, let's focus on the next one, but actually let players sit in that and kind of think about what could have happened and getting them a little, maybe more fired up for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's sad because to work so hard in training, to put yourself in a position where, you know, you're executing like we executed in that first half, and for large portions of the second half. They're a very good team, Portland. And to play that well, to work that hard, to be in a position to take all 3 points, to now have to rely on guys, like always you need to rely on subs to come into the game to help you get the job done. A lot of these guys aren't always playing, they want to play more. Are some of those guys coming into the game and giving us what we need? And I think that's the real solution that I have to find, all right? And I've brought on different guys. I've not brought on some guys. There have been games where I haven't brought on certain guys because they haven't gotten it done. And then I've given them a second chance 3-4 games later. And so these are all things that I have to think about because I've tried to be very creative with how we close out games to break this cycle. And I've done a lot of different things. And for me, it's very simple. The psychology isn't right with the guys coming in the game.
Portland seemed to put a lot of offensive pressure on you guys in the second half. I guess just what changed as they were able to do that?
Yeah, it's just them. You know, obviously they like a little bit of chaos. Even the goal, it's a chaotic kind of, you know, action. You know, I thought we dealt with the set pieces pretty well. I thought we dealt with the balls in the box pretty well. Thought we had the 2-0, you know, goal to put the game to bed. That was close and tight. We had a couple other little moments where we're in. Where I think we can do better, but it felt to me like we were going to close this game out, no problem, you know, and even till the last 15 seconds. But again, it's little things like, it's simple, clear the ball in the stands. If we clear that ball out on the last action, the game's over, okay? Because the referee always, certain ones like to throw a little drama and they let it to roll over the time. I think it was like the 45th minute. When they scored and it was 4 minutes of stoppage time. So you have to get the ball out in a situation where now there's no action on goal because they always like to let the play run until there's maybe a final action. And we allowed them the final action to score. So I think again what I'll say is I think you know 95% of the squad played extremely well. And yeah, I've said it, you know, we played very well. It's just so disappointing to work so hard and give so much to have, you know, for me, a few guys go in and just not give us what we need, you know, and I'm not again, doing the same thing every game. I'm trying to do different things. So ultimately, it's on me to find that solution and to get the psychology right and to make sure guys that go into the game are going to get the job done.
Coach, talk about Kevin Molino. He seems like he's playing pretty good for you. Is he back to the old Kevin Molino that we knew once?
Yeah, that'll be lost in the shuffle today, but I thought he had an excellent game and performance and, you know, like the whole team in a difficult game. I mean, that's a tough game. That's a really talented team, very athletic. They've come on the road this year in difficult environments and gotten results. And, you know, I honestly thought we executed extremely well. I didn't think this would be like a 2 or 3-0 win. I thought it'd be 1 or 2. We kept the game tight. You know, so it's just, again, closing out the game. That's what I have to solve with this group. And you know, I haven't been able to solve it, so it's my fault. I'll take the responsibility for that. You know, I'm the head coach, and I have to solve it. I haven't been able to. But I also need guys that I can trust. You know, I need guys that I can trust, you know, and there have been a few guys that just have been continually coming into games and not getting it done, you know, and I feel like we're getting good performances with the guys starting the game. And so in this last 3 games and hopefully playoffs, we need to figure out a pretty consistent rotation of who's going to be able to come in and give us what we need. Because it's for me been a little bit trying this because that didn't work, you know, and trying to read the game. And I think I was patient and I tried to read the game and I tried to, you know, leave Lucas and Cucho in because I feel like they could help us keep the ball, move up the field. And, you know, I think sometimes we've gone in the 5 or the 4-3-3. We've gotten too deep. And, you know, I think in this game, it was just one play that we don't make.
For the starters and the physicality, Portland came in leading the league in yellow cards as a physical match throughout the whole time. Can you talk about maybe the positive of the starters being able to withstand that and playing through it and playing better than Portland despite them trying to kind of manage the game and slow it down?
Yeah, again, I thought we did play better. I thought we deserved to win, but you know, in football you don't deserve anything unless you get it, you know. And you know, I watched several Premier League games today, and you see late goals. It always happens, you know. And so we don't want to be that team, and it's just disappointing because, you know, a lot of the guys that aren't starting, you know, we train them really hard to be ready to step in always, and we work really hard to make sure that they're, you know, able to execute like everybody else. And the scenarios of coming into a game are pretty simple. You got to come into the game if you're a sub and we're up 1-0, and you got to keep the ball or kick the ball out and head it out and give us what the game calls for. It's not about playing for yourself or looking good. It's about just giving the team what you need. And Kevin Molino is in the lineup now because when he's come into games, he's given us what we needed, and so he's gotten more minutes, and then eventually he got a start, and then he did well, and so he continues to get rewarded. And you know, I feel like we have a handful of guys off the bench right now that don't deserve to be rewarded, you know, and that's too bad. And I feel like we have a bunch of starters that are playing really well, but we can't have 11 guys playing 96 minutes every game, you know? We need 3 to 5 guys to be able to come in and close it out for us. And so we're not falling short in our execution to start games. You know, we're playing well to start games. We're playing well by and large. It's the end of the game when we have to sub. There's a dip. And we're not getting the performances we need when we have to sub. So we got to go back to the drawing board on that. And there might be some guys that don't play again, honestly. And you know, the guys that are coming in and doing well, obviously we're going to stick with them. But there have been a lot of ups and downs with the subs.
Are the options bringing in more players? I know Crew is on there. You have a lot of defenders on there to choose from.
Yeah.
Is that something to bring them up into the fold?
Yeah, I think, again, you know, there's guys for sure. Yeah, there's guys, and there were guys that didn't play today. So, you know, for sure, we're not going to do the same thing again, right? So, I think there were some guys that did do well when they came in. Thought Derek did well when he came in. Artie was in for, you know, a minute and a half. I think he did anything to cost us the game. Yao has to do better. Plain and simple. Yao Yeboah has to do better when he comes into games. That's the bottom line. You look at the games and he's come in. I'm not going to rattle them all off. He has to do better when he comes in. And there have been some games that I haven't played him because of what I've seen coming into games, and I felt like he deserved another chance because he's been training hard. But you know, he's got to clear that ball out at the end. that's a very simple play to clear the ball out.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.